I'm Erica Ridley, and welcome to another historical romance unboxing. Today, we have a gift from Susana Ellis. Look how cute this paper is. Cannot wait to open it and see what's inside. Let's read. Chapter 1. White's Gentlemen's Club, St. James Street, London, 26th August, 1812.
By the time Nicholas had been dropped off at his Mayfair townhouse, the streets were deserted, except for the night watchman patrolling underneath bright street lamps, and George was exhausted. Recalling the days of his youth, when he had the run of London and could fritter away the night with his Oxford cronies without the slightest effort, he felt a twinge of nostalgia for that too brief period of time when he had total and utter freedom from the responsibilities that now weighed him down. These days he did indeed feel his age. Next year he would be 40 and decidedly middle-aged. Jenny had been gone for 2 years now, and he was still at Point Non Plus with their daughter. His business was thriving, but it seemed to require an increasing amount of his time, which he had only recently realized was a contributing factor to his problems with Louise. The image of the pretty blonde Miss Sedgley came to mind, along with a whimsical wish to be a decade or so younger. No milk and water miss, she. He liked that about her, that she was not afraid to speak her mind, that she had more on her mind than routes and fashion and husband hunting. He had often thought it was a shame that society offered few options for women, except through marriage, and even then, the role was limited to the home, and serving as pretty decorations at social events. But then, he couldn't see her in the same vein as the independent Lady Hester Stanhope either. Miss Sedgley would be an outstanding wife for a man who had the presence of mind to appreciate her outspokenness, and her fearless determination to become personally involved with the poor and needy, and not just write checks from a convenient distance. As the carriage approached the modest residence he kept in town, for the times when it was too late to make the 30-mile trip to St. Albans, he sighed deeply, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. He had enough problems without adding a romantic entanglement into the mix, the principal of which was his daughter, Louise. At 15, she was a miniature of her mother, a dark-haired petite beauty with dainty features and coffee-colored eyes that flared up like fireworks when she was angry, which was most of the time these days. She had reason to be angry, he acknowledged, having lost her beloved mother 2 years ago in a carriage accident. And then, after she had finally settled into a stable existence with his sister's family, she had been unceremoniously pulled out again to live with a father whose life was his work and who had no real understanding of his own daughter. Perhaps he should have left her with his sister's family after all. Eliza loved her like a daughter, and Louise, with no siblings of her own, had eagerly adopted her younger cousins, and appeared to be thriving when he decided to bring her home. A less selfish man might have given her leave to remain there, but when Eliza's husband was appointed to the diplomatic staff of Lord Cathcart in St. Petersburg, George found he could not allow her to go. It had been a major bone of contention between them. Louise had always yearned for the sort of exotic, lavish, aristocratic lifestyle she thought she deserved as the granddaughter of a French comte, an attitude inherited from her unhappy mother and grandmother. His stomach hardened as he recalled how the bitterness of his mother-in-law at having her aristocratic heritage so violently wrenched from her had eaten away into his marriage. As Jenny became more and more dissatisfied with her position as the wife of a lowly solicitor, their quarrels escalated to the point where she began to spend most of her time with her sister, who, as the wife of a duke's younger son, lived in a fine house and socialized among the ton. He felt conscience-stricken to recall how relieved he'd been when she'd been gone. Plunging into his work had the double benefit of contributing to the financial success of his business, as well as helping him to avoid stewing over his guilt and unhappiness over his marriage.
Susana also sent 4 book trading cards. We have A Twelfth Night Tale, The Third Macpherson Sister, Lost and Found Lady, and Treasuring Teresa. Cute. Plus, an even bigger book trading card for A Home for Helena, and an adorable bookmark. Look how cute that is. Nice. and a postcard for the Bluestocking Bells, who are supporting Malala and her charity. Very cool. Check all this stuff out that Susana sent. Thanks, Susana! Thank you for watching Historical Romance Unboxing with Erica Ridley. More information about today's featured book can be found in the text accompanying this video, as well as on my website, ericaridley.com/unboxing. To win a signed copy of today's featured book, as well as an autographed romance from my Rogues to Riches series, just leave a comment on this video within 24 hours and you're entered to win. Keep reading and see you next time!